Hello and welcome back to the ANT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, and this is my co host, Adam. What's going on today, Adam?
Well, today we're going to talk about a few different sports with you guys. I'll just throw out our main topics for those of you who may only want to listen to certain things. We're going to start off talking about the couple contract extensions that's happened since last time we were here talking to you guys. Then go into these quick NBA offseason moves that have been made so far. Then we got a little drama going on the UFC side, and also going to talk about what we saw this past weekend. And then we're going to talk about the hottest topic in sports right now, I believe, and that is the return of Conor McGregor. So let's kick it off with talking about these few contract extensions that's happened over the last few days, and we'll start with the Titans re-signing Jeffrey Simmons. It's a 3-year deal with $100 million guaranteed. For me, this is my personal opinion on the Titans extending Jeffrey Simmons. Is you know the thing whenever you pay somebody like this much guaranteed money, $100 million guaranteed for 3 years. In a way, I can understand it because they already don't have many stars on this team. But to me, he's not someone that's been changing games for him. He had 10 sacks, 15 QB hits. To me, that's not really enough for you to give somebody that much of your money whenever you're in deeper need.
Yeah. The Tennessee Titans. I don't know. They're in a rebuild.
Well,
That's what
yeah, that's why I disagree with this, though. But that's because of the other free agents that we talked about on our last episode. How many more guys that there was out there that could benefit them a lot more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're talking about them. You're disagreeing with the fact that, you know, they're keeping this guy over maybe getting a few other guys with the money.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can agree with that. Bring in young guys, but I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is he's an all right player. I mean, I think he's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, he's a beast on the line because he's an interior lineman. So I mean, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's just to me this isn't uh helping them better themselves because whether anybody wants, he only probably has a few more good years left in him, and yeah, you're gonna keep him uh, his entire prime, I guess you would call it, but to me, this isn't bettering their team. This isn't going to change the outcome and what we see from the Tennessee Titans this upcoming season.
yeah, I can see your thought on that. I mean, I can see both sides of it really. Maybe building a foundation around a good defensive captain or something, and then again, you could probably get more for what you paid for him out of some rookies or something. But or
Yeah.
maybe it's a little. It could go both ways, I guess you could say. But I mean, either way, I can see that Tennessee's trying to rebuild and
Oh yeah.
trying to make make an effort at a new team, I suppose. But I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have
I mean,
to
in a
just.
way, I guess I can kind of understand it because they already know they're struggling, and I mean, why keep losing players? I mean, why let him walk whenever you know you're already struggling? So keep the stars that you do already have.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
But our next one is the Falcons out here making big moves. Not big moves as far as signing new players, but they're also bringing back in Kyle Pitts on a 3-year deal for $54 million and Drake London on a 4-year deal worth $141 million. And you could probably thank JSN for Drake London getting so much money because whenever something like that happens, whenever a wide receiver gets a big contract, everyone else starts talking about it and then they want the big deal, and that raises the market for wide receivers. So that's a good bit of money for a wide receiver.
yeah, yeah. 141 mil. That's a good
It's about
contract for 4 years.
35 million a year,
Yeah, that's a pretty good
somewhere
contract.
around there.
You know,
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Drake London deserved that kind of money. I do.
Yeah, I can agree because I mean most definitely one of the stars on the team beside Bijan and Kyle Pitts when he wants to play. But
Yeah, that's the next thing is people were asking is Bajon Robinson up next, or is he going to re-sign with them, or is he going to look to maybe go somewhere else?
I think this year tells it all, really, because I mean you've got three quarterbacks that you could try to build a team out of, and I guess they're either going to figure out that none of them are a quarterback to build behind, or there's one of them, and then they'll have to
Yeah.
move on to a quarterback. And I guess that'll decide for Bijan as well whether he wants to be there or not, and or if he needs to move on to bigger and better. Because I mean, he's a really good running back. I think he needs
Oh
to.
yeah.
I don't know. He's
Well,
stuck on Atlanta right now, so
early on in these players' career, I think they mostly focus on their production and the stats they can bring to a team, and then whenever they start to get older, they want to think about the championships. But I think that's the problem with some of these players who have that kind of mindset because not everyone can win a championship at 30, 35 years old. If you're already past your prime, some of these championship teams don't really want to invest in you if you're not producing for the team like you should be, at least. Kind of like which he was able to do it, but Stephon Diggs kind of got lucky. That's what he was kind of looking for. Instead of just having production and just looking for the money, he was looking to become part of a champion, and he finally did that. But now the Patriots have realized Stephon Diggs isn't producing, and they've pretty much just tossed him.
yeah.
But I mean, he did happen to get lucky in this ordeal. They did give him a championship before they parted ways with it.
Well, we'll see because Bijan's in his final year of his contract. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
these are
they
extensions, obviously.
yeah. I mean, the Falcons picked up his 5th year option, but I don't know. I'm surely he'll stay with Atlanta, and Atlanta's on a rebuild process as well, and they'll eventually find their quarterback, even
Yeah,
if he's mediocre or whatever.
they're not in as deep as a rebuild as Tennessee, though. I mean,
Nah,
they have a
Tennessee's
lot stronger
struggling.
of a team than Tennessee. Now, Kyle Pitts, I strongly believe that with Kyle Pitts, they should have waited till the end of this year to sell because last year I think I think his stock went down a little bit if you're talking about how he performed last year because this was somebody that like he's not the most expensive tight end and he's not the cheapest tight end whenever you're building like a fantasy lineup. Uh so because that's what I do is like a salary cap on DraftKings or whatever. That's a popular contest to do. And if you're talking about something like that, he's like right there in the middle of the tight ends. He's a great pick whenever you're on that salary pick uh style DraftKings lineup. And he just did not produce like he should. Fantasy wise, stat wise, he wasn't the tight end that he was the year before at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who was playing at quarterback at the end of the season because he actually did have a pretty decent end of the season. Did Kirk Cousins end up going back to the Falcons?
I'm not sure. I know that they juggled with Phoenix, but I'm not really sure. The Falcons, I kind of, I try to pay attention to them, but towards the end of the season, I really wasn't paying much attention to the Falcons.
Yeah, yeah, he went back to the Falcons. It looks like last season, um, in the 2025 season. So, um, yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to the Falcons either. They had a couple of surprising wins last season, but I don't know if you can really consider it surprising because it was against the Buccaneers
Right.
twice. So maybe I think it was twice. Maybe I'm not sure, but either way, it was shocking wins. But the Bucks also wasn't very good last year, so everybody was kind of hurt. Mike Evans didn't even get his 1,000 yard receiving accolade. So
And another notable mention for those that care about this, the NFL started to release their NFL top 100 list, and I'll name off. It's just four players so far. Number 100, they have Cameron Jordan. Number 99, they had Quentin Nelson. 98 was Bryce Young, and 97 was Ernest Jones. It's hard to tell whether that they belong on this list or not because you don't know who's ahead of them or anything like that. But just for the people out there that keep up with things like that and like hearing about stuff like that.
You
But
saying they made like the top 100 players of all time?
no, the so so before the season, NFL does this thing where they do the top 100 players of that year. So they're the top 100 players of 2026.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, 100 was Cameron Jordan, 99 was Quentin Nelson, 98 was Bryce Young, 97 was Ernest Jones. Just every few days they'll go on there and they'll release a couple before like just up leading towards the season.
Okay. I got you. So
Yeah,
they reveal
like I
more
said,
players.
it's really hard to judge whether those the 97 through 100 picks were good because you don't know who's ahead of them yet.
Right.
You don't
Okay.
even know who's going to make the list. But next, we're going to talk about the Trey Young signing his deal with the Wizards. It was a 4-year, $212 million deal. So, what I want to mention with this is Trey Young, he's a good player, but he's obviously, I don't know. I don't think
Ridden with
with this
injuries.
deal, huh?
I said ridden with injuries.
Yeah, there's that, but I just at this point I don't think he's really hunting for a championship, or else you're not going to sign a contract with the Wizards. He was obviously hunting for the money and wanting to stay with the Wizards.
I mean, yeah, it's a big contract. Man, the NBA teams definitely they cough up a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's almost crazy.
Well,
It's,
especially whenever you can get a hold of a superstar like that, I guess you try to do whatever you can to try to hold on to them because
y-
that's I mean that goes without saying that that's a player that you just don't want to let walk, especially whenever you don't have much else.
yeah, I mean, maybe he does good with the Wizards, but I don't know. It's anything that's happened in the NBA as of late, and just Trey Young. It's a shot. I mean, sometimes I'm even like, wow, dude still plays because like I just barely hear from him when I'm watching basketball and stuff or listening to podcasts about it or whatnot. I just barely hear anything about him. I forget that he's in the NBA sometimes because he's like either hurt or just not on a good team. I guess. I mean, he was with the Hawks, but like I feel like the Hawks did better whenever they got rid of him.
Yeah. So Julius Randle was traded. So he was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and he only shot 39% during this 2026 playoff. He just really was not producing. Not in the playoffs at least. Anthony Edwards was looking for anybody to help him. And at the end of the day, you have Anthony Edwards, so you're not really looking for a crap ton of help. You just need someone to pick up the slack whenever Anthony Edwards can't come through and do everything for you, I guess you would say. Whenever he can't have these 40 to 50 point games that he comes up with every now and then, you need someone to kind of pick up that slack. And Randall just didn't do that during this playoff. He just, I mean, honestly, during the playoffs, he played horrible.
Yeah, he was very inconsistent in the playoffs. I kind of expected him to do a little better than he did, but being the fact that that Anthony Edwards was out, how many games was he out?
I'm not real quite sure on the exact amount of games was out.
Yeah, I can't really remember it, but that's I know I'm pretty sure that's the games where Io Desunmo or Desunmo or however you say his name, he was actually showing pretty good talent with the team, and
Uh,
which is crazy because Chicago never really gave him those kind of opportunities, I guess. But I
yeah.
mean, he was there whenever people were injured in Chicago, so I mean, yeah, Ao Desumo is a he showed some light, dude. It looked pretty good from him. But Julius
Oh
Randle
yeah,
going to the
that
Nets,
was
it's
one
like,
of the reasons. The sumo, that was one of the reasons why I think people are saying, or the speculation is of why they made this decision to trade Randall. I this is just from what I read from people's opinions, but I think the reason why they might have traded Randall was to be able to extend Ao Desumo or re-sign him or whatever. And basically, this move was mainly to open up some cap space on the side of the Timberwolves because
well
his
that
contract was pretty big.
well that's a good thing because I mean he was making plays there in the playoffs, so I definitely
Yeah.
think that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
Now,
Julius Randle, he's going to the Nets, and his career is pretty much over at this point.
oh yeah, I can agree with that. The Nets were the Nets are just reaching out trying to get whoever because I mean we see it happen a lot. I mean with the NBA, people like Julius Randle, kind of like Julius Randle. Obviously, they're not the same player as him, but a lot of these players towards the end of their careers, sometimes they'll bounce around a whole lot, just trying to find kind of like James Harden. I mean he's been with the same team for just a minute, but he's kind of bounced around himself. Uh, they're just trying to find that spark that they once had, and I mean I don't know. Julius Randle showed some of it in the regular season, but during this postseason, he just fell off, and we haven't really gotten much from him. We haven't really saw much for him whenever it matters most.
Yeah, Julius Randle's played consistently. I mean, just like with the Knicks, he was decent with the Knicks as well. He was decent with the T Wolves. I mean, just couldn't show up and
Yeah,
big
but
game
see
big game
the
times.
thing with sports like the NBA and the MLB is during these regular season games, you there is a little bit of pressure, I guess you would say, but like there's not really much pressure to it because you lose a regular season game in the NBA or MLB. It's not really a big deal. No one flips out about it. No one's like, hey, I mean, if you blow a lead, people might be like, oh, the blah 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 this blah blah blah, but you're not really under pressure in a regular season game until you get to the playoffs. That's whenever you feel the pressure
Yeah,
or you're in a play-in game or whatever. I mean, there's not really any pressure during the regular season. You're just showing up and doing what you need to do. Rather,
yeah,
as in the NFL, any game you lose during the regular season could be the difference in you making the playoffs or not. And it
yeah,
can come like that in the NBA. Like, obviously, you got to win a certain amount of games to get in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, unless it's close to the end of the regular season, no, just one game is going to decide that for you, really, in the NBA.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Nets got rid of Nick Claxton for it, so we'll see. I mean, you can't go wrong, I guess.
I
Adding
mean, that
Julius
may end up
Randle,
helping the Bulls. The Bulls uh, are looking for any help that they can get over there. So, I mean,
well, because they keep dishing their guys away.
yeah. All right. Now, this is
By the way,
something that,
I just wanted to mention $100 million for a 3-year deal for Julius Randle is crazy. So
yeah, that's like that Trey Young deal, and actually, that's no, that may
yeah,
be a
that
little less a year than what Trey Young got, but I mean, yeah. If you
it,
ask me if I'd rather have Julius Randle or Trey Young, I'm doubling down on saying Trey Young. Injuries or not.
yeah, Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd prefer Trey Young over Julius Randle, but uh, the thing is about it, which is funny because we're going to be getting into it eventually. Obviously, the elephant in the room would be Giannis. Uh, Trey Young right now is making more than Giannis at 100. His total Giannis's total value is 175 mil, 75 mil. Now
Well,
he's probably gonna get a bigger contract after January 6th, surely. But it's like either a 4 year 275 or a 3 year 214 million. Either way, he's getting his payday. But it's crazy the fact that if he took the 3 year deal, that Trey Young would still be making more money than him, and I would rather have Giannis over both of those guys.
well, I think the Heat would agree with you because the Heat gave out Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jamie Jaquez Jr., which I personally think Jaquez Jr. He's a decent player.
Oh, the Hawk.
Hero,
Well,
that's
Hawk is.
yeah. Kasparis, however you say his name, and three first round picks, including the number 13 overall. Which, by the way, guys, the NBA draft is happening as we're doing this podcast. Um, I don't really know much about college basketball, or we would discuss a little bit about that, but I might do some research and we may bring you some updates about who some of the star players these teams drafted. But the NBA draft is happening right now. But the Bucks got, like I said, the Heat gave Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jamie Jazzquez, Kasparis, whatever, however you say his name, and then three first round picks. Um.
Well,
Oh,
just to touch back on the draft, by the
The
way.
Heat also will receive Bobby Portis as well.
Huh.
But what was it?
Anyways, the NBA draft, as you said, is going on as we speak. And the Wizards picked up AJ Dybonsa at number one. And the Utah Jazz picked up Darren Peterson at number two, and Cameron Boozer goes to Memphis at number three.
That guy's good. I know him.
Yeah,
I know about Cameron Boozer. He's pretty good.
yeah. I
But
was excited to know where Cameron Boozer was going.
yeah. But so talking about this Giannis trade,
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to speak about it. I personally think the Heat overpaid. And yeah, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, it is Giannis Antetokounmpo." I know that. I do know, but you're getting the guy that's already been in the NBA for 13 years. Um, this is just, I mean, you're kind of reaching because not every basketball player can play till they're 40 years old. Not everyone can stay consistent till they're 40 years old. So to me, paying this much, giving three first round picks and a few of these decent players, if you would have gave just the players and maybe one first round pick, I would be on board with this. But I think the Bucks are getting more out of this. I think the Bucks know to become a contending team, they're going to need a little bit more than just Giannis. And with how much money Giannis is going to request, I mean, you're really putting yourself in a hole by picking someone like him up. And that's just my honest opinion with it.
Yeah, I mean, I got my likes about the deal. I don't got, and then I got my things that I don't like about it. I mean, the fact is, Giannis didn't do anything but go to another team that's like the Bucks. Basically, you don't have enough star power,
Yeah, I also
and
don't like the deal for Giannis either. But
yeah, and
to me, the Bucks won this trade.
I am, however, excited to see Giannis and Bam work together. That would be pretty
Yeah,
fun. And Davion
and
Mitchell,
Bobby Portis is coming with him too. So
yeah,
he's not going to be. It's not going to be completely new to him. And I do think Giannis and Bobby Portis have like a good chemistry together because of the way Bobby Portis, he plays defense and grabs boards. Because Bobby Portis, that's what he's known for is his defense.
yeah, Bobby Portis is hit or miss when it comes to scoring, as well. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but Davion Mitchell over there in Miami, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how he plays along with Giannis because I was interested in
Yeah.
watching Davion Mitchell because I actually do think he's a talented basketball player. So it's going to be a lot of these young guys on Miami pretty much they're building
Wait, what
around
was the name
Giannis,
you was just saying?
Davion Mitchell.
Was he
He was
included in the trade?
No, he's been on Miami. He was with
Oh,
Miami
okay.
last season. He was a solid
Yeah,
playmaker.
I knew that. I just thought you were saying that he was included in the trade. I was about to say
Oh
I didn't
no,
see
no,
that.
no, no, no. He's with Miami, and they're building a team around that. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe it helps Miami, get up in the upper playoff bracket and stuff. But
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't, just in this one year, anyways. It's
Yeah.
because they're gonna have to build around Giannis, and you know, if they're gonna, I mean, this is probably you never know, dude. Giannis could be on another team next season. We don't know. You know, he could. And these big name players, I mean, they can pretty much go wherever they want. It just makes me. Why Miami? I feel like because Giannis, in my opinion, Giannis is a star player. He puts the points up. He gets the boards. Now, last season, I guess, wasn't one
Oh,
of his
for
healthy
sure.
seasons. It wasn't one of his healthier seasons last season, I guess. I feel like he definitely was injured a lot last year with his knee or whatever. And but he's a productive basketball player for sure. So I mean, I definitely think maybe the money's he's worth the money. I just why Miami?
To me,
I feel
since
like he
you
could have went to a
says,
bigger
yeah,
basketball team.
that's what I was about to say. Why not target somewhere? Which I know why people because the Celtics are the ones the other team that was heavily after him,
And I
and
feel
I
like
guess the Heat kind of outbid the Celtics in a way. But the thing with me is, why not go? I know some of these teams don't want to pay him, but there are a few teams that could have maybe afforded to bring him on. Like, like just for instance, the San Antonio Spurs. And the reason why that is because they do have players over there that are on these rookie contracts because that's a really young team, and you have players that don't necessarily deserve big contracts yet. He could have went to a team like that and fit in perfectly. Him and Victor Wembanyama playing right beside each other. I mean,
yeah,
imagine the Spurs with Giannis added to what they already had.
right,
That they would
yeah,
have 4-0'd the Knicks, and that's just the truth to it.
yeah. Yeah, because they would have had Giannis to build around with that team, and they've already got a young team. It would have been a problem for
Yeah,
sure.
you would have Giannis sitting there mentoring Victor Wembanyama. I mean, because to me, the Spurs have to, with this offseason, the Spurs are going to have to do something, or they might not even find themselves where they found themselves last season. They need someone to effectively mentor this young team, and they do not have that. De'Aaron Fox is not a mentor. He is someone who obviously can't even do what he's supposed to do. If you can't even go out there and produce what you're supposed to be producing, how are you going to help everyone else? There's no way you can do that.
Agreed. And just hopefully that Miami doesn't put the cherry on top and bring LeBron back for his final season or something to ruin that Miami team.
Yeah,
So
but we can move on to a little topic we're going to talk about here. I just wanted to bring it up because this to me is something that's stirring around pretty heavily, and we're going to go back to Alex Pereira losing to knockout by Cyril Gain in the second round. And the reason why we're going back to this is because there's a bunch of drama being put out right now. And in a way, I agree. I don't all the way agree, but, and I'll kind of explain that. Alex Pereira is now hinting at retirement. He has not come out and fully said anything about retirement now, but his exact statement was this right here. Honestly, I'm afraid to go back to fighting with all this going on. I think I've already done my part. He said that in an interview. And obviously, the only thing you can assume with someone saying that is there's a possibility they may be done. I'm afraid to go back to fighting. I think I've already done my part. I mean, that right there screams retirement. But a reason, I mean, I agree with his frustration. I do. I think he had done lost that fight, but I do not think that you should let a fighter get hit in the back of the head because and I know he was already in defense mode. He was hugging the leg, but that's kind of why people hug the leg. You tried to put yourself in a position where you can't continue to get hit. And Cyril Gain, he was trying to finish the fight. He already had momentum going. You've got to slow down as a fighter. Be patient. Pick your shots. You know the rules. They go over them with you several times, and in a championship fight, they go over them again before you fight. Whenever you're right there in the ring, I mean, if you're going to be a championship fighter, in those moments you do have to slow down. You do got to watch what you're doing. And unfortunately, with the major performance Cyril Gain had, he landed some pretty devastating back of the head shots to Pereira. He was already basically unconscious. I get that, and I know a lot of people are going to say that, and that is the truth. Pereira was already basically gone, but you can't
Yeah.
hammer someone in the back of the head, no matter if they're already knocked the fuck out or not.
Well, I can already tell you this: elbows to the back of the head probably won't feel good repetitively
Oh no,
at
no.
that, and I would probably be upset as well losing like that because it feels like a cheap victory. But yeah,
See, I
I
won't even
agree
go as
though.
far as saying it's a cheap victory because to me, Alex Pereira was going to lose that fight. Cyril Gain was just way more comfortable. He was flowing better. I mean,
Well, no, I'm
uh,
saying and from Alex feeling that it's a cheap
yeah,
victory.
yeah.
But the thing is I
I mean,
agree
whenever
with the
you're
fact
that
that
great of a fighter, I mean, that's what you want to tell yourself anyway. That if you wouldn't have got hit with illegal shots, you would have been able to recover.
yeah, I agree the fact that Alex was already kind of knocked out. Not really. I mean, I've seen crazier, like
Yeah,
guys sprawling to the ground, yanking them down to the ground, and regaining conscious and winning the fight. But
but the thing
that's
is,
in a
Gain
magical
has already
world.
done this. Not even the Aspinall poke in the eye. There was against him and Junior Dos Santos, uh, where he did that as well. And then there was actually another guy earlier in Gain's career. I guess Gain hit in the back of the head illegal shots as well too. Now I don't agree because there's something Pereira said that I also want to disagree with, and that's the fact that legal action should be took against Herb Dean. Herb Dean's been around for a while. I mean, to me, you can't just up and fire a ref or put them under legal action for something that because they are refs or whatever, but you know we don't get to see the fight from exactly Herb Dean's angle. We don't know what Herb Dean was focusing on. He was obviously trying to but to me, whenever somebody's hurt, you got to really dial in. You got to really focus yourself and really apply um, yourself to being a ref. And I do think Herb Dean struggles with that sometimes. He's let guys take extra shots. He's called the fights when he don't need to call the fights, and now he's letting people get hit with illegal shots.
Well, yeah, I don't. I just think kind of Alex is going through a rough time right now because like
Yeah,
he's also facing legal actions outside of the UFC. So like it's just I don't know, man. Like I said, to him, maybe it feels like a cheap victory. Um, he was rocked, but like I said, people's come back from worse and stuff.
yeah.
It's in a magical world, as I said, he would come back
Pat
and
Barry and
control the
Czech
fight.
Congo,
Yeah,
I believe.
right.
Czech
And
Congo. I think it was Czech Congo. Might have been someone
maybe
else. It was
ma-
Pat Barry and somebody, but the dude was like, it was basically like a flat line KO, and then he just jumped right back up and then KO'd the dude.
yeah.
Pat
And
Barry got
see,
KO'd.
you could hope for crazy stuff like that. I really think Surreal Gone is going to win that fight regardless. But
Yeah.
maybe he gets a rematch out of it. Maybe gets takes legal action out of it because like a lot of UFC professional fighters are saying that he should take legal action on it. Maybe not against Herb. Well, I guess it would only be against Herb Dean, but I mean, you know, I just take the loss and just move on and make it more. And I don't understand why he would feel worried about going back into the octagon when we know Surreal Gone is a dirty fighter. I mean, he's been in trouble for all kinds of stuff. He pokes eyes, he elbows to the back of the head. So you just have to kind of expect that kind of thing out of Surreal Gone, and you're just going to have to take that away from him whenever you fight him.
Yeah.
Because
Another
and you
thing,
know
if
and karma will eat him. One time he'll try
yeah,
it and he'll get in trouble by the right ref.
if anyone else finds this interesting, Dustin Poirier found a very great way to celebrate his Father's Day. He
Yeah, he
got
did.
trashed and got arrested.
Trying to beat
He
up
got out
the
in a couple of
airport
years,
security.
but I mean, at least someone was having fun on Father's Day, you know.
But you said he gets out in a couple of years.
No, no, no. I said he got. If that's what I said, I didn't mean to. No, he got out in
Oh,
a couple hours.
oh. I was like,
Yeah,
he got years for that.
hell no. That man has the money to get out.
I actually watched the
Yeah,
video
then,
today. I've been seeing all kinds of stuff about it, but I actually watched the video today, and I
yeah.
actually I giggled about it because boy, he was serious, wasn't he? I just wonder what he
Oh
was
yeah.
so mad about.
I mean, there's no telling. You know, they tried to make these guys look bad. So even if like unless there's actual physical proof, I mean, there ain't no telling what he was mad about. I'd say he had a pretty good reason though. I
Well,
mean, Dustin
number,
Poirier seems like a good dude.
number one, fighting a security guard at an airport is crazy because that guy. I mean, you know, he in that moment, the guy with the video or whatever,
That's why you
chest
don't
cam or
retire too
whatnot.
early.
I know it. He's ready to get that dog out, ain't he?
He trying to come back and rematch Justin Gage.
That boy said, "Want to fight?"
He almost went 5 rounds with Islam Makachev. He's trying to get it.
Yeah, I could see him coming back for a fight. He got to get that anger out.
Justin Gaethje being champion does set that up pretty good. I just want to point that out there, and I want to bring that up again. Justin Gaethje being champion sets that right up. So let's go on to our main topic of the day, and that is we're going to go ahead and we are going to talk about Conor McGregor. And the reason why we're going to go ahead and talk about this so early is, first of all, it's the next big fight in the UFC. Well, I won't even say big fight. It's well, before we get into that, I just want to predict this main event this weekend. And actually, we might do a couple fights. I'll name off a couple of these fights that might even be worth a damn. They kind of like, uh, actually, no, not even that yet. What do we think is next for Manel Cop or Cape, however you want to say his last
It's
name?
Manel Cop. Yep,
Yeah,
you are right.
what do we think is next for Manel Cop? Because he did kind of he was losing the fight whenever he got this KO. There's no doubt about that. He was definitely losing. He was losing on the feet too as well. But whenever you win in the third round and you're in a championship fight, I don't take anything from him for losing the first couple rounds because you have 5 rounds. And I think that's what gets a lot of these fighters beat that are fighting 5 round fights. I think Manel Kopp knows how to fight a 5 round fight. And at no point did I just sit there and I was like, Manel Kopp has no chance to win. He has no chance. He was struggling with the takedown in that second round, and he come out in the third round, and I felt like he focused on defending that takedown and was trying to put together some counter strikes, and that's exactly what he did. He got the finish. So, with that being said, what do you think is next for him?
Well, this is actually one of my favorite topics, actually, because this is my favorite division so far right now, and I could actually have an honest prediction of
Well, they
what's
this
gonna
division
happen.
for the first time, I think ever, and that's just my honest opinion. This division for the first time ever, I think, has the most exciting champion. Like if you look at all these champions, the most exciting champion right now is Joshua Van. I mean,
Joshua Van. Yeah,
that's my honest opinion. I don't think I've ever watched a Joshua because me and you both. I know me and you both have been fans of Joshua Van since he came into the UFC because that man goes
100%.
out there ready to throw hands. He does decent at defending the takedowns, and even whenever he gets taken down, he gets up. He gets up. He finds a way back to his feet, and his cardio is unreal. We saw that in that last fight.
Some of the
His
best
cardio
boxing I
isn't
think I've ever
insane.
seen.
Yeah, he's really. I mean, if he goes out there and beat Pantoja, we are looking at the flyweight champion for possibly years and years to come. I'm talking about the next 5 to 10 years, depending on what he wants to do, whether he wants to go up a weight class or whether he retires young. We don't know any of that. Whether he goes through injuries, we don't know. But
I think Joshua Van
this
has a
put
long career because he doesn't even
that's what I
hold
was about to say.
damage.
We could potentially be looking at somebody who, if he's not champion the entire time, could be an off and on champion and contender for the flyweight division for the next 10 plus years.
Yeah. See, okay, so my honest prediction with this going on right now at the top, three fighters or whatnot. So we touched on Conor McGregor just a minute ago, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Um, but on his card, there's Brandon
Naturally, so
Royval.
excited to talk about Conor McGregor. I almost completely skipped over this topic.
Yeah. Brandon Royval versus Lonnie Kavanaugh is going to decide who faces Manel Kopp next, and that'll
No, it's
buy
not.
that'll buy
No,
time
it's not. You're
for.
wrong about that.
Okay, just hold on.
Brendan Roy Vols done been finished by Manel Cop.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. And
But yeah, in a way you're right because
Lonnie
if
Kavanaugh is
Kavanaugh
making his
wins,
way up.
yeah, yeah, if
He's making
Kavanaugh,
his way
you're
up.
right. If Kavanaugh wins, yeah, they may set up the cop and, but I think Manel Cop has also put himself in a position where even if Kavanaugh wins, Cop could literally sit there and wait for the winner of the Van and Pantoja fight.
Right, and that's what I'm getting to is the fact that it'll be, and my prediction is the winner of Royval and Kavanaugh will go and fight Cop, and then that'll buy time for Pantoja to come back and get healthy to fight Joshua Van again, if that happens. And if
I think he's
and
already
if that
getting.
does
I
not,
think that's already going to happen.
anyways, if
I
that
think
does
they
not
already have that in the
happen,
works.
if that does not happen, Manel Kopp, I think, is like the ranked number 2 fighter. So Manel Kopp can just walk right into a fight with Joshua Van because he already called him out at the
Yeah.
fight. So after he
Oh
won,
yeah.
so and Joshua Van's not going to turn down no
I'm pretty sure
fallout.
Cop is on like a 4 knockout streak.
Yeah, he hasn't lost a fight, and
Yeah,
actually, interesting. His only fight he lost in the UFC was Pantoja. He's got like 20 canceled fights, but
that's
he
wrong. He lost to Makaev.
he actually lost to another person.
Yeah, he lost to Makaev, the one that got cut from the UFC. Makaev is actually still undefeated. I'm not real sure, and actually we'll touch on that. I'm not real sure why the UFC won't pick him back up. I mean, I think him and Dana White have some issues, but to me, being a business guy and a promoter, you have to look past that because Muhammad Makaev is undefeated, and he did beat. And I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
Moko.
he did.
Okay, okay, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, he got
Mo-
laid
eh,
on. He got laid on.
I think his name is Mokayev, right? Or something like that. Mokayev,
Makaev, I don't know.
Mokayev, something. Yeah, it's them freaking
He
last
got
names,
cut
dude.
from the UFC being undefeated. That was kind of a questionable thing that the UFC did. He's not an exciting fighter though, and I think that has something to do with it.
Okay, understandable. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting situation because Manel called Joshua Van out. So, I mean, I guess we shall see if Joshua Van responds. Other than that, it's gonna be like a long climbing tree. But Manel Kopp, I'm pretty sure he's due for a title shot. But like Pantoja's
Yeah,
just got
that's what I
that
was saying.
contract,
The UFC
So
definitely wouldn't have a problem with Cop waiting if he wanted to.
yeah, so he'll if he waits, he'll take another fight in between or something, or he'll just wait. But I don't know about all that,
Because
but
that's like with Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, obviously Yawn and it looks to be Yawn versus I done forgot his name. the
Cap.
machine. Yeah, Devolish Philly or whatnot.
Dwavishvili,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Marab,
saying. It's
Marab.
kind of Cop is kind of in the same situation as Sean O'Malley. He can wait, he can fight again, but he's kind of cemented himself as next in line, other than who's already getting the title shot.
Right, so it'll be one of the two, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
But we'll
mm,
jump to. Do you have anything left to say on Cop?
yeah, yeah. I just got one more thing. It doesn't matter if he fights him next. It doesn't matter who fights Joshua Van next. Joshua Van's gonna knock out whoever stands in his way. So
If not, beat the crap out of him for 5 rounds.
yeah, but that's for men. But now we can move on.
But all right, I just want to do the co-main and the main for this weekend. There's not really. I'm not gonna go through the whole card because it's basically a card like this last weekend. I mean, there's certain names on this card, but there's no one that everybody's gonna know, or not every one of these fighters is somebody that everybody knows. But we're gonna go. The co-main event is Shara Bullet versus Michelle Pereira,
Yeah, if you
and
don't know who Shara Bullet is, you're gonna know this weekend.
yeah, Shara Bullet is one of the more exciting middleweight fighters. He's an up and coming fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. He is actually 16-1 right now, and he's fighting a guy who is 32-14. So to me, it's smart for him to go up against someone who actually Michelle Pereira has kind of looked bad, but he's also a veteran. He's going to come back and try to do better and try to put Chara out of there just to prove he still belongs. But I have Chara by knockout in this one.
Yeah, I've got definitely got. I don't know knockout or not. I mean, I'm gonna predict it myself and say knockout, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't confidently say knockout because, like, I don't know. I definitely could see Shara Bullet beating up on this dude the entire fight because I'm sure Michelle Pereira could probably take some hits. So, um, but it's funny. Do you know who Shara Bullet's one loss is to?
Well, I think it's MVP.
It is Michael Venom Page.
But the fact that Michelle Pereira was knocked out in 43 seconds by Kyle Dawkins, I don't think he has long in this fight.
Oh, then maybe not. Because I haven't watched very many Michelle Pereira fights. He's probably not very
He,
entertaining.
he was entertaining at kind of like I mean I don't know it was like a year or two, no, I'd say about 2 years ago. He was actually one of the more entertaining fighters, and then he just kind of lost his step. But
Really?
I mean, yeah. Uh, but the main event to that is Rafael Fiziev and Manuel Torres. And I want to bring up something while talking about this fight. The UFC has officially released their new ranking system, and Fiziev was one of the fighters that lost their ranking. And I'll actually name off a couple of fighters. Yair Rodriguez also lost his ranking. Marlon Vera lost his ranking, and then I think to nobody's surprise, Derek Lewis lost his as well. Those are just a few of the fighters that lost their ranking with this new ranking system. Some of it's kind of shuffled around, but the top like 3 to 4 fighters for almost every weight class kind of stayed the same. But from 5 to about 15, this new ranking system did kind of shuffle things up. And for Rafael Fiziev to lose his ranking, to me, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but
Because the way it works is it goes on not only stats, but it also goes on your strength of schedule, basically how good or bad these fighters are, and also your activity and how much you stay active, and just who you beat and what you do during that fight.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Fazeev, I mean, he looks good. I'm
Oh,
actually
dude,
not.
he's an exciting. If you
He,
want me to, and that's what's funny. If you want to know who he reminds me of,
yeah, go ahead.
Justin Gagey. Like he remind not quite, but like he reminds me a little bit of Justin Gagey.
Well, Justin Gaethje beat him. I
Oh
think
yeah,
I
but that
seen.
fight was insane, dude. Well, like that's one of my favorite fights of all time is Rafael Fiziev and Justin Gaethje. Crazy enough,
Really?
yeah.
I guess that's a fight
I
that I
mean,
might have missed. But
yeah, either that or you just don't recall it. That's definitely a fight. Like, if like you're just eating one day and like you need something to flip on the TV, go watch that fight.
okay, yeah, I'll definitely. They fought twice, right? And Justin Gaethje
Yeah,
won
yeah,
both
but
times.
both fights were good. That's the reason why that second fight happened because a lot of people think like I do about that first fight that it was absolutely insane.
Well, I say this weekend someone's gonna get a ranking, and I I'm gonna take a bold prediction and go Emmanuel Torres this weekend. To be real,
I can't go against Fiziev. I just
nah,
can't.
that's okay.
I think Fiziev is. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not saying if you go Torres, you're just absolutely crazy. I mean, technically speaking, he's got. If you're going off by number of fights, Torres has more experience and he has more fights, more wins, less losses. So I mean, Torres to me, I mean, could very well end up being a favorite by this weekend if he's not already. Because I've not looked at the odds on this.
Yeah, I haven't even checked it out yet. That was what I was gonna be doing tomorrow.
Yeah, and also if we don't get to you guys before this weekend, um, we're gonna try to at least maybe pop a short episode in, maybe Friday night or Saturday morning, maybe on some bets because actually this past weekend I had a lot of success on the not only the UFC but also MLB bets. So we do want to start trying to do a podcast episode like once a week on maybe some of these bets we're getting together, so you guys have a chance to tell them whoever listens.
Yeah, it'll be Friday night and a release of Saturday on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
But Fiziev, he's an exciting fighter, and Torres, he's got some pop behind him too, though. Uh,
Yeah,
do not count Torres out. He's coming off two that I see. He's coming off three finishes, and before that, he was finished by Baja Mondes, but that was whenever Baja Mondes was. But yeah, he's got one, two, three, four knockouts in the UFC and a submission. And he submitted Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan's actually a decent wrestler. So to me, Torres can take this fight wherever. He doesn't have to be nervous about going to the ground. I mean, I don't see Fiziev taking him down or anything like that. He's going to have to be the one to initiate the wrestling. But this is a fight that Torres can win anywhere. And I don't think if Fiziev does decide to put him in that chaos, I think Torres can make it out of it. Fiziev
yeah,
is probably going to have to finish this fight.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Because I was about to say, well, I didn't even realize that Torres was 17-3. I was just kind of looking at all of
Oh
his
yeah,
previous
he's
fights, and I
got
was
more
like, wow,
experience. He's got more experience, more wins, and less losses than Fiziev, which
yeah,
surprises me too because it seems like Fiziev has been around a little longer, but
yeah. Maybe he spaces his fights out more often or
he
something.
does. That's one of the things I like about the new ranking system. Uh, they base it on all these factors. They don't mainly base it on activity, but one of the things they do factor in is the activity, and I really like that.
Yeah, there was also another fighter that I was excited to see this weekend. Con Offley. Specifically, I think he was from Ultimate Fighter last year. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna
He
go
actually
check
has
real
a good
fast.
opponent. The
Yeah,
guy
and
you're talking about.
yeah,
The
he
guy he's fighting is 23-5. That's not a bad record. Javier Reyes, and this dude made his UFC debut and was able to get a knockout.
who has Javier Reyes.
Yeah,
Okay,
kind of looks
yeah.
like Dominic Reyes. That may be his brother.
Well, the thing is can Javier Reyes wrestle?
Yeah,
Okay,
Javier
then
Reyes
it's gonna
actually
be
had
a
a takedown or two. Yeah, he 1 for 2 on takedowns against in his debut.
It's
I don't
going to
know
be
anything about
interesting.
the fight. I don't recall the fight. Some of these up and coming fighters, I'll watch them fight, and I can't identify them by name, and then I'll see them whenever the fight comes. I'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that dude fight.
Yeah. Well, Con
There's
Offley,
also
he
another guy on
debuted
here
he
that if
debuted
you,
against Muhammad Naimov, and it was
yeah,
went to decision. But other than that, Con Offley, he's on a 3 fight or a 2 fight win streak. But I know for a fact because I watched him during Ultimate Fighter, he can wrestle, man. So that's going to be a good match to watch between them two. So I would definitely tune into that. That's a good prelim look to. It's going to be a good fight. I mean, some people don't like the on the ground stuff, but this one might be a little interesting because maybe they both are unsuccessful about getting takedowns and stuff because they're both good at it already. So they
yeah.
might stand up and just fight. So,
But
but
this Gene Matsumoto at one time was very talked about, and that could end up being an exciting fight. But he's kind of been on a skid here lately, so there's really no telling with him. His name is Gene Matsumoto. He's one of the first fights.
I'm going to look. Okay, I see.
He's fought some decent names or some decent names, not anybody that's necessarily at the top or nothing.
Yeah, he fought Basha, right? So Rob Font,
Oh,
MMA.
this dude from the Ultimate Fighter is on here. Danil Doncheco. It would not be a bad idea for those listening. A Danil Doncheco KO. I'm telling you, this guy can fight.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah,
Don Checo is he's pretty damn good. He's a hell
okay.
of a striker. He's got power behind him, and uh, he did win his debut by decision, but he did get a knockdown in that fight as well too against Alex Morono. You
Yeah,
got
that'll be an
any other
interesting fight.
fights you want to point out, or any other predictions you want to make for this card before we move on to talking about McGregor for just a couple minutes?
Nah, that card's just a fun card to go picking through. It'll
Yeah,
be, I think this weekend's gonna be more entertaining than people think it's going to be.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that a little bit, and that's because I think any of these fights could go either way. I don't.
Yeah,
Looking down through these fights, besides Shara Bullet, I really don't see Shara Bullet losing, and that's just something I'm going to point out. That is the only lock I'd say, and Don Checo, and Shara Bullet are my two locks for this week. I don't think I see anybody else where I can confidently be like, besides actually Yakyev, I don't know how you say his last name. That guy is good too, and I think he will easily beat Julius Walker. So
yeah.
my three walks of the week, if anybody wants to add these to their parlay or maybe make a parlay with these three fighters, I believe Don Checo and Shara Bullet get it done by knockout, and then I would take the money line for Yakaev, or it's a hard name to pronounce, but and actually I would take submission for the Yakaev dude. So if anybody wants props on a parlay, Don Checo, Charlotte Bullet KO with the Yakaev submission.
Sounds good.
And if you're confident enough in it, Pilaf is also fighting, and maybe a KO by him wouldn't be a bad underdog pick if he's the underdog. But all right, we can get to talking McGregor. We're only going to try to stay on this topic 15 minutes at the most. We don't need to try to go over that time. I got a couple things I got to get to, but um, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about this McGregor fight. Like I said, this is a big topic in MMA right now. First of all, I just want to say to everyone, I've been, I'm on social media. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we're not even sure if this McGregor fight is going to happen." I highly disagree with that, and I was one of the ones disappointed whenever this Michael Chandler and McGregor fight was being talked about, and then it never went through. I was actually highly disappointed. But I don't think that that's a situation like this. I think with that Michael Chandler fight, and this is my honest opinion, you know, you can agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. But I think the thing with the McGregor fight is, in a way, McGregor knew physically he wasn't 100% ready to come back. Do I think he could have come back and beat Michael Chandler 100%? Absolutely. Look at Michael Chandler's last performance. But it's not only that. To me, if you're going to come back, somebody like McGregor with the star power he has to come back and show out. So I feel like with the Chandler fight, maybe an injury popped up in his camp, and he just knew that he wasn't 100% physically ready to return, and that's the reason why he pulled that. I don't think it was because Conor McGregor, he's not afraid to fight. I mean, if there's one thing you can say about Conor, he's not dodging anybody. I mean, he took this fight with Max Holloway, and you can say Max Holloway is one of the best boxers in the UFC. I don't care how his last fight went. I don't care how his last two fights went. He was going up against Ilya Taporia. Taporia, if you don't put damage on him like Gagey did, Taporia is going to stand there and throw punches with anybody. You know, I mean, and that's just how it is. And Charles Oliveira, anybody, I wouldn't say anybody could last 5 rounds with Charles Oliveira on their back, but Max Holloway did it. So
Yeah, yeah.
Conor
See,
McGregor's not scared.
and the thing about it is with Max is he's good at defending himself on the ground.
Yeah.
He's not the best on the ground, but he's good at
See,
defending
I don't
himself on
think
the
at this
ground.
point, I don't think in this point of his career anyway, I don't think McGregor's looking to wrestle him if he doesn't have to. Now, if he knocks Holloway down, I could see him climbing on top of him. But
Well, I don't think so either, but I also think Conor McGregor is going to do whatever it takes to win because
yeah,
Conor McGregor has not won a fight since 2021. So,
against Cowboy
um,
Cerrone.
yeah, and I just think he's
Just throwing
kind
this
of
out
he's
here, a fight that you swore Cowboy Cerrone was going to win.
I did, but you know what? That was just the cowboy in me, I guess. I don't know,
I've
but
always been a Cowboy Cerrone fan as well.
yeah, but no, what I think is because Conor McGregor also has another fight included on his contract. He's going to be
Yeah,
fighting. It'll probably be in April of 2027 though, so it'll probably be a while before we see McGregor again. But what I really think is a lot of people
and
think that
actually,
Max Holloway is going to dominate Conor McGregor, and I
yeah,
think this is gonna be like Conor McGregor's revitalization because like he admitted to like using steroids and stuff like that. So, and that he was struggling and he hit rock bottom,
I
and
think
we
he
can all
had
see
to
it.
for that movie. I think he had to for that movie because that movie was like a role where he needed to look like really jacked or whatever. That's how they wanted him to. And I think and I don't think he tried to hide it. It wasn't like for obviously anything, uh, like a real actual fight. I mean, so to me, I don't hold anything against him for that because we all know Conor McGregor stays active. He trains. He's got other guys that are really good fighters that he surrounds himself with. So I think Conor McGregor knows he's ready to come back, or he would not be coming back.
And before you say he's too old to fight anybody,
No,
before you say he's too old to fight, Justin Gaethje's the same age as him, and he just
oh
beat the
no,
17 and
I
oh
don't think
Ilya
he's old.
Taporia.
The only thing that might kind of hinder Connor a little bit is his inactivity.
Yeah, being away
His
so long.
inactivity actually being in the ring. But I think if he's smart and doesn't go out there and just straight rush Holloway, I mean, obviously, if you see an opening, go for it. But he needs to use this first round to kind of remind himself of what being in the octagon is like. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of get back in that flow of being Conor McGregor, being one of the best strikers ever, really.
Yeah, he's a really good striker, but also people do look past the fact that Conor McGregor can wrestle too. I mean, you
Yeah,
say
but
he's
he's
too
not
old for it.
somebody
You don't.
that's not his primary skill set though.
No, but he is good on the ground. He's not Khabib good, obviously, but he is good on the ground, and a lot of people forget about that because if it's not Khabib, I've seen him wrestle people on the ground before and be in top position and dominating. So, and I
And
know
also,
he does knock people out because he strikes and he
yeah,
throws wild kicks and stuff like that. But if you do take McGregor to the ground, it can be a problem.
and also another thing, I heard you say something about his next fight, and you are right. But see, Conor McGregor was already complaining about the fact that they were leaving such a huge gap in his next fight.
Yeah, because
So,
he is one of those
and I
fighters that
think,
likes to fight like 3 times a
yeah,
year.
yeah, and I think the reason why he's complaining is because I think the UFC thinks he's gonna lose this fight. Because why else? Like, if you think Conor McGregor has a chance to go in there and get a first round knockout, and he does actually do it, why hold him until next year? Why make him? I know that there's only 2 fights left on his contract, but you really seriously think if Conor McGregor gets a knockout, and then let's say because this has also been an option too, because Justin Gaethje won't turn down the fight. You cannot tell me if, and I know this fight is at the next weight class up, but I think Conor McGregor, he got big or whatever. Obviously, if he wins this next fight, I think he'll make it down to 155, and they will set up that fight with him and Justin Gaethje. Uh, but the thing is if he wins that title, the UFC ain't got to worry about him not wanting to sign a contract. He will have if he gets 2 wins in a row, he will have no problem signing that contract. So if that's why the UFC is doing it, they're wanting to keep him in his current deal, or hoping that he doesn't leave and go to somewhere like MVP or whatever. I don't think they got to worry about that at all.
No, I don't think so either. I think that right now, because like I was saying about the Conor McGregor coming out about all of his struggles and stuff, is the
Yeah,
fact that he's trying to be out there and honest. Because I mean, it was pretty
yeah,
obvious. We all seen during the movie that he looked roided up,
yeah. Oh
and
yeah, he never hid that.
he's trying to be
And
honest.
I
I
think
think
he
he's
actually come out and said that the producers of that movie encouraged it too.
yeah. Well, regardless, he took it. But the thing
Yeah.
is it's almost it seems like he's trying to bring his career back for one more like hoorah or whatever,
Oh
and
yeah.
um and I think he could be successful at it. Now, if Max takes care of him quickly, then that obviously
Oh
because
yeah,
it's just another
quickly because
Michael Chandler
Max isn't the
situation.
type of guy. Max isn't the type of guy to go in there and knock people out in the first and second round. Like, yeah, obviously at the end of the fight, whenever you've got him tied, I'm not saying Max Holloway can't do it. So, and I mean, we are gonna for the first time see Max Holloway at welterweight. So that's also something else to factor into this fight too. Max Holloway has never fought this heavy in the UFC at all.
No, yeah, and how Justin Gaethje's kind of on his run right now. Now, whenever Conor McGregor fought Dustin Poirier, um, and actually I was wrong by the way. His last fight hasn't been won since 2020. I was very wrong about that. But his last fights against Dustin Poirier, I feel like Dustin Poirier in that stretch right there made his run like Justin Gaethje's making his run now because after that we didn't see a very good Dustin Poirier after that, and I think Conor McGregor was just kinda in the middle of that run of Dustin Poirier, because I mean, you got Justin Gaethje on his run, you can't tell me this guy's not on a run after I mean, tore apart a 17-0, almost 2 or is it Ilya is a 2 division champ, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like, Justin Gaethje's on his final hoorah, and I think McGregor's finna go on his final hoorah. Now, we'll see with the Max Holloway fight, but I don't see Conor McGregor going early. I think Conor McGregor is gonna keep this fight interesting. I think we're gonna
yeah,
be
for
like,
sure.
"Holy cow!" Conor McGregor's finally back. This is
Win or
crazy.
lose, yeah, I think that this is going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah,
The whole card is going to be, which we're not going to get into the whole card because we still got to go do predictions for this card on a podcast episode closer to this fight. We just wanted to go ahead and hop on this hot topic and talk a little bit about McGregor. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is I just want to remind everybody all the things McGregor did whenever people said he couldn't do it. Because I was on board with McGregor doesn't have a chance, but then I looked back to all these times where everyone pretty much said it against Jose Aldo.
I was about to say McGregor has
No,
a hell of a rap sheet, man.
yeah, nobody said he was going to do it, and then even against McGregor, everybody said Nate Diaz doesn't stand a damn chance. I mean, he went out there and did it. There's just been two, and then not to mention this last couple weeks. I mean, Justin Gaethje, we said it ourselves. No chance he wins this fight. He did it anyway. He absolutely put on the biggest upset we've ever saw. So for me to sit here and say McGregor doesn't stand it, it's just crazy. So I completely take back my comments saying that McGregor absolutely stands a chance,
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be
and
on the
I
McGregor
would
side. I
not be
love Max Holloway,
surprised.
but
I would not be surprised if McGregor goes and gets it done.
me either. You're on my prediction because I'm going McGregor all the way.
I'm not going to give a prediction right now because I can't really say confidently that either one of these guys are winning right now. Because I would very well like to see, I would love to see McGregor win
Well,
this fight, and have at least another couple fights to be able to watch Conor McGregor.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see whenever it gets closer to time. We're definitely gonna have an interesting podcast before
Oh
that
yeah.
fight. So
All right, we're near the end of our podcast now. Actually, we're right at the end of it. We're about to part ways with you guys. Remember, like, follow, listen, share everything you can do. Comment on the platforms where you can comment on. I know we're still not the best podcast yet. We don't have an official intro, but we are working on these things. We've been a little busy here lately, which is why there is a little gap in between us making an episode, because we want to do a few episodes a week. Just sometimes we have stuff going on, and right now we're at a weird place with the sports. There's not a whole lot of sports going on. We try,
yeah,
as you can tell, we try to pick up and talk about just about everything that we can think of, including NFL, NBA, UFC, everything, even the sports that aren't going on. Everything besides, soccer and hockey. Those are a couple sports that you may not ever hear us talk about. We may even occasionally talk golf. You never know what we're going to talk about on here. We may get into a little bit, about what some of our hobbies are, just stuff like that. But it is mainly sports. But we're here to have fun, give good vibes, and just have legit conversation. And that's what we are going to continue doing and continue to be about. And we're going to stay consistent with posting an episode, at least one episode a week, but we're going to try to do two. And this Friday night, we're going to bring you our betting episode for the week.
yep. With that being said, goodbye, everybody.
This is ANT Podcast, and we will be back.